There is nothing more refreshing than a day at the beach, especially on a hot summer day much like it is currently, when the sun is out and we can't stand the heat anymore. And the day wouldn't be complete without a nice dip in that nice relaxing water. But things might look a bit different when you come face to face with some of the biggest waves in the world. You might want to swim towards them or surf them, but I'm sure that most of us will want to run away from them. Today we're going to be looking at 10 massive waves caught on camera. You're not going to believe how big some of these waves are. It was a fun thing for a moment for others, but one thing is for sure, the ocean is strong, and those waves are the ultimate proof of that. Stay with me all the way to the top of this list and find out more about a place that is surrounded by waves that you might never want to see in your life. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. The Louise Majesty. Besides the beach, cruise ships are the other way to experience the ocean. They are the perfect way to navigate the waters while you and your loved ones get to spend some quality time enjoying everything that the place has to offer. And while cruise ships have been made to resist any harsh weather conditions, some things are unpredictable and sometimes chaos can hit in the blink of an eye. This is what happened to the Louise Majesty ship as it was sailing off the coast of France. It was met not by one, not two, but 3 massive waves. The ship was traveling from Cartagena, Spain to a town in Italy when it was suddenly met by a very scary set of waves. Surely the cruise ship was built to resist such challenging conditions, but no one would have ever thought that they would have to face 3 waves in one go. The passengers had to be brought to Barcelona, and the ship had to be repaired after traveling the oceans for more than a decade without any incident like this one. Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it really works. Number 9. Huge waves slamming Taiwan. If big waves are scary on their own, imagine what happens when they come along with a natural disaster. Back in 2016, Taiwan was hit by Typhoon Maggie. This typhoon was so big that it caused 10,000 people to evacuate their homes, and it brought one of the scariest waves ever recorded. You can see on this video how it hits the coast, mercilessly, and it even rises above the lighthouse. That lighthouse is at least 27 meters high, which is roughly the size of a 10-story building, but it surely looks small against this monstrous wave. Surprisingly, the lighthouse still stands, which goes on to show how effective Taiwanese architects are at making strong, steady buildings. Due to their geographical position, they had to prepare for hurricanes and typhoons like this one to hit them at any moment in time. It's good to know that their buildings are ready to stand these natural threats, but still, it'd be pretty scary to see this in real life. Number 8. Piahi. The next wave on this list is not one that came at a specific time or catastrophe. Instead, the Piahi Break, most commonly known as the Jaws Surf Break, is a spot where you can find monster waves every year. The place is so popular that it has been listed multiple times as the winner of the Billabong Big Wave Contest. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the waves don't come all the time, so you have to be aware of the season to make sure you catch them. Once they come, these waves can be as big as 60 feet or 28 meters tall, which makes it exciting for surfers and amusing for watchers. The whole place is surrounded by beautiful cliffs where you can watch those who dare to go on these waves, unless of course you're one of those lucky surfers that managed to get in there. Number 7. Glacier calving in Kenai Fjords. Not all waves are necessarily moving. With that being said, we can count these glaciers as big chunks of frozen waves. And once they start calving, it can be quite an amazing and shocking experience. A group of tourists in Alaska got the chance to witness a spectacular show of glacier calving during their visit to the Kenai Fjords National Park. It all started with a bit of ice coming off the glacier, and soon enough it felt as if the whole thing was going to fall apart. Calving usually occurs when the glaciers come to an end. It's a process that can last years, and it causes the landmass to decrease, like the Greenland ice sheet, which is currently losing a lot of its ice. Some people are concerned that glacier calving could eventually cause the water levels to overflow our land, but there are still ongoing studies to determine how this phenomenon works, as it usually stops or completely shuts down during the winter. But it happens at alarming rates during summer. Number 6. Portugal town hit by waves. It was a stormy day in this town off the Atlantic Ocean, and people were just staring at the ocean when they suddenly spotted a big wave coming their way. When you watch this video, you can see that no one perceives the wave as a threat, even though they're obviously in the middle of a storm and the day is gloomy and overcast. Once they noticed the wave was breaking and coming closer to them, the people started running everywhere. You can see how the camera gets all shaky as people begin to run for their lives. The waves came crashing into the city, destroying many cars along the way. Many surfers out there got really excited as they saw that the waves were as big as 60 feet tall. However, it was not the right weather or condition to practice any sport. Instead, people had to find shelter since a big part of their town had just gotten flooded. Number 5. A monstrous wave hits a ship. And here is yet another video that caught what it's like to be hit by a big wave in the middle of the ocean. This one happened near Ouessant, a French island off the west coast of Great Britain. I know our instinct is to run away from danger. However, when it comes to monster waves, ships have to navigate towards the wave in order to avoid getting flipped by it. And it's certainly dangerous, but it's better than being taken by the ocean and losing your ship's crew for good. The wave in this video came as a result of a violent Force 12 storm in the middle of the sea. Ships had to be ready to encounter this kind of situation, but sometimes nature is unpredictable, and even the strongest ship will struggle against such waves. It then comes to a moment where the captain's skills are put to test, and they'll do just what they can to keep the ship and the people alive. Number 4. Sightseer gets hit by a wave. I really don't understand why people's first reaction when they see a gigantic wave is to get their phones out to take videos of it. I mean, I get it, you're probably about to witness some historical moment, but you kinda want to stay alive if you want other people to watch what you saw. Otherwise, this video shows what could happen if you stay too close to the shore while these waves come crashing your way. This video was taken during Hurricane Irma when a sightseer decided that it was a good idea to go out and record everything that was happening. What he found was a wave washing over the wall where he was standing, which knocked him off his feet. This happened at Key West's southernmost point landmark, a place where people had been asked to evacuate since a Category 3 storm was about to make its landfall. A nearby web camera caught this guy on scene, and unfortunately he was not the only one pulling out his phone during the storm. On the same day, there were tons of Twitter users posting videos of other sightseers that didn't follow instructions and instead just put their lives at risk so they could document with their phones everything that was happening during the storm. Possibly to actually document it, or for all them good Twitter Facebook likes. We're not a species meant to survive. Number 3. Person watching waves. I know waves and storms are quite impressive, but wouldn't you want to keep your distance from them? Especially if the weather doesn't seem that friendly. However, here is yet another video of someone who stayed too close to the shore and got hit by a big wave. Now, the interesting thing about this video is the fact that the person doesn't move at all, even when the wave is almost in front of their face. It seems like the person was distracted. Once the wave came crashing, the person had no other option than embracing the moment and waiting for it to pass. And if you watch the whole video, you'll see that there were other people nearby who were not expecting this to happen. They started running as soon as the water made it inland. This video was taken in Malta, a small archipelago in the Mediterranean Sea, which has been hit by storms on different occasions. One time they had a storm with very strong winds that caused fish to rain all over the island. Since they get these kinds of crazy storms all the time, I guess they're not afraid of big waves and winds anymore. Now it's time for today's best pick. The picture I chose for today shows a group of people watching one of these monstrous waves coming their way, and what makes it more interesting is the fact that there's a surfer on it. Now, if you thought that photo was edited, you're wrong. I guess it had some retouching done, but if anything, the video is even more impressive than the picture. So just what can the story behind this photo be? Well, let's find out with number 2. Biggest waves surfed. In 2017, Brazilian surfer Rodrigo Coxa broke the record of the biggest wave ever surfed. He accomplished this in a Portuguese village called Nazaré, which is in the city of Leiria. The wave was a bit higher than 23 meters, which is about 78 feet, and honestly, just trying to imagine that makes me even more scared of heights than I already am. I would run for my life if I ever saw a wave as big as that one. But instead of running away, Rodrigo got on top of his board and rode on it. Prior to that, the person who held the record was Garrett McNamara, who broke the record in 2011, and he is also the one who mentored Rodrigo to become the surfer he is today. I guess it is true though, good teachers are surpassed by their students. Besides this world record, Rodrigo also got a local record in South America by surfing the biggest wave in the continent. That was in 2010 when he surfed a wave that was 60 feet tall in Chile. It sounds like Rodrigo is an expert in big waves. Number 1. La Jument. This French lighthouse is well known for the massive waves that hit it every time there is a storm in the area. It is built on a rock in an area that many sailors consider to be dangerous. There are many videos that have documented La Dumont getting hit by waves, but there is one picture in particular that became famous in 1989. The picture was taken by photographer Jean Gouchard, who wanted to document a storm. He saw how the waves were reaching the lower part of the lighthouse and took photos from a helicopter that he hired. At the same time, Theodore Malgorn, who was inside the tower, came out to check out the helicopter, and he was met by a big wave coming his way. Gouchard took the photo, and Malgorn ran back inside the tower. He says he would have probably died if he had been further from the door. Different videos on the web show us how massive these waves can be. Some of them are as high as 160 feet. Would you dare to visit this lighthouse in the middle of a storm? I kinda doubt it. Have you seen any waves larger than these? Have you caught any footage of them with your phone? If you do, let us know in the comment section down below. With all that said and done, I'll see you all next time. Later, everybody.